What's good, YouTube? It's Rage Real. So in today's video, I want to show you guys this Team and Scheme series part 22. So if you enjoyed the video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So in this video, we're gonna be talking about the Texans and we're gonna be talking about Gun Empty Hawk. Now I am inside the Seattle Seahawks offensive playbook. Again, I'm in the Seahawks offensive playbook. Now personnel is extremely important when you're talking about Gun Empty Hawk. So what I love to do is put my fastest receiver where Danny Amendola is. So what I'm gonna do is take Brandon Cooks. I'm gonna sub in Nico Collins right here, and I'm gonna put Brandon Cooks right here. So I love having my fastest receiver right here in the position, or my best receiver. So your number receiver one, your receiver one is going to go here. Trust me, it's super important. Now, I like putting my receiver two in this position right here. So in that case, it will be, who is, I believe it's number two, actually, Philip Dorsett. So we're actually going to take Philip Dorsett. We're going to put him on the outside right here. I love having my number two here. So Philip Dorsett is 93 speed. So you really need somebody fast, though. Normally, your number two receiver is still normally going to be pretty fast. But if your number two isn't fast, just put your second fastest receiver in that spot right there. Now, everything else kind of doesn't matter. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna put Chris Conley on this side, and then I'm gonna put Nico Collins right here where Danny Amendola is. So this is how I personally run it with the Texans. Now, of course, you want to go ahead and, if you have the Texans, you want to go ahead and put in Deshaun Watson. And then this is exactly how I run it. Now, in today's video, before I show you guys gameplay, I only want to show you one setup. And this setup will bomb every single coverage. And that setup is going to be out of this inside cross right here, which you guys know. If you follow my channel, you know this play is already extremely good. One of the best plays, honestly, in Madden as far as bombs go. It's just the only bad thing about it, it just takes a little bit of time to develop. So you only want to use this when your opponent's rushing like 3 people, or they may be spying, you know. So basically rushing 3 or 2 people, depending on what they're doing. That's where I recommend this. You could try to do it with 4. Like if your opponent's doing a base rush 4, just hopefully be careful. At least not with the Texans. You won't be able to do it with the Texans. Excuse me, I can't, my throat's a little dry, but you won't be able to do it with the Texans essentially because they just don't have the offensive line to hold up versus 4 people for you to have a little bit of time. So I normally like to keep the ball on this left hash to let my 3 receivers be on the wide side, but it really doesn't matter with this bomb play. You can put it on the left or right hash, it'll work the same way. So for the setup, you want to take R1, put him on a streak. You want to take X, I like to put him on a hitch, and you want to take square, put him on a drag. So this is my favorite setup right here. Now, just for the video sake, I'm going to spy this guy right here. But if you were playing in the game, you'd want to just double team that guy and then see if you can step up in the pocket or work the left side of the pocket, if that makes sense. So let's go and snap the ball so I can kind of show you what it looks like. Now, cover 3 is going to take the longest to kind of bomb. So you want to throw it right when he crosses his face, and you want to throw it to where he can go run and get it. Now, hopefully you can get the little possession catch animation, or, you know, get a good rack animation. But that's what it's going to look like every single time. And notice where the safety's coming from. This is the hardest style to cover 3 to bomb, when the safety's on the opposite side of where the post is. And I did that for a reason, just so you guys can see, you know, the hardest way to bomb it. So X on the hitch, square on the drag, and then we're going to go ahead and snap the ball. Now you can tell I need a lot of time, so sometimes you may need to step up and then step to the left right here, and then you want to actually want to wait for him to cross his face, and then you actually want to throw him open. So notice how we are able to throw him open right there. We get a reach for it animation in the end zone. So I love that play versus cover 3, versus stock cover 3. Now I'll show you what it looks like if they deep half, and I'll go ahead and back that guy off, because I know you're wondering what a deep half play it. And I believe the deep half actually does play it. So if you want to take this kind of concept away, then essentially all you need to do is deep half. I'm more than positive the deep half will take it away. We'll see right here though. And notice how circle, sometimes that does happen where they actually run into each other. If that happens, it's just unfortunate, but you have to kind of just throw that ball away out there. So I'll call it again versus cover 3 real quick. Hopefully we don't get that animation. But if you guys are paying attention, you guys would realize that the cornerback in the deep half was actually going over there to cover it. So just be very careful when calling this play if they call a deep half. So notice how he's going to run back there and actually go get it, and you probably, like I said, will be throwing a pick. So if they put a deep half, that's how to play. So if you see that kind of animation, just go ahead and throw the ball away. Don't try to force anything, or simply just try to playmaker somebody, you know. So next thing I'll show you is cover 2. Now with cover 2, technically you can run this play stock. So I just want to show you cover 2 stock. Well, inside cross stock will bomb cover 2 every single time. So notice how we just have all that room out there. So if they call a base cover 2, literally just snap the ball and you'll be fine. Now I believe, I could be wrong, but I think this setup does bomb cover 2 with the middle third. It all depends on what side that middle third is playing, I'm pretty sure. It gets a little finicky when you start talking about middle thirds, because it literally all just depends. So with the middle third coming from this side right here to the 3 receiver side, I believe this streak by R1 should be able to hold circle. well, it should be able to hold that middle third, I believe, and then we should still glitch out that safety. Nope. Okay, so that deep pass safety still plays it. So if they play cover 2 with the middle third, try not to use that setup right there. Well, try not to bomb it. It's not one of those setups that bomb middle third safeties. Let me just triple check this just to make sure. But like I said, there's some combos that do, but this one unfortunately does not. So what normally happens, if this streak was a little closer to this guy right here, then a lot of times he'll auto stick to this streak and just leave this. And then if this post route was a tad bit deeper, or because sometimes it depends on how deep this post is ran, where it'll actually glitch this guy out, where he'll like do like a slide animation where he'll slide inside, or he'll do like a slide outside animation and it'll open up like right here. Now this is not one of those. Now I do believe he does get beat up at the line of scrimmage. Let's go ahead and see it real quick. Okay, so I want to test out one thing real quick. What happens if they zone drop? And the way we can mimic a zone drop, as you guys may know, is just individually backing off that cornerback. That will kind of mimic a zone drop animation. So let's take R1, put him on the streak, X on the hitch, square on the drag. Now I want to back off R1 to that vertical hook, just to kind of simulate R1 getting a free release, because that's what happens whenever they zone drop. Your players get a free release. Let me make sure I am spawning enough people on the line, okay? Because I want to be able to have time. I don't want to run this again, so I'm only going to rush one right here just so I can make sure I have enough time just to show you. So notice how nobody gets touched right there. And then I forgot to put him in the I believe I forgot to put the middle third out there, but nah, it's still not gonna work. You can tell that deep half still played it, so just don't use that setup versus middle third. Just literally, if they put a middle third, essentially, I'll show you with the read. So if they put that guy in the middle third, and they're going to use their, normally they'll use one of the vertical hooks. If they do that, literally just run this play stock and just, make a read. That's all you gotta do is make a read. You can hit triangle in that gap, you get an X right there, or sometimes you may end up having not R1 late, but I was just throwing that. But you just may end up having, you just want to make that high-low read, essentially. That's all you want to do. That's the only point I was trying to get at. But anyways, moving forward, let's talk about cover 4 drop. So with cover 4 drop, this play will bomb cover 4 drop. Take X, put them on the hitch, square on the drag, and it's good because a lot of times your user is going to be on the hook curl trying to play down low, and he won't even see this bomb play developing right over the top of his head, and then you'll get that right there, and you'll get a one-play touchdown. Now, last thing I will talk about is man coverage. Now I'm only going to talk about man with the safety, with the two high safeties like this, because that's normally what you'll get when you play any empty style. And they'll normally use it right here. Normally is how that goes if they're going to play this aggressive style of man coverage. So what I'm going to do is just spy those two right there. Now, technically, you can run this play stock. I would suggest you run this play stock. And the reason why, because you just want to make this read right here between circle and R1. Now, one adjustment I may make is take triangle, my best receiver, put him on a slant, and I'll run it this way. So I'll actually have a third read. So I'll read the slant. Then I'll come back and read this in route. And then I would actually read this post over the top. So that's how I would do it versus man. So notice the slant can't get open. You look at R1, and then you actually want to throw circle out there. That's if you get, a nice little win animation. So you may want to put your best receiver right there. So last thing I will show you is man with the rotated safety. So if they put a middle third, and then let's say they're playing purple or something like that, maybe they're tired of one of the route combos you're putting together, then I just want to show you that this circle route can run away from man coverage, and we could do the same exact setup right here. You just want a little bit of time. It all depends on who's guarding circle as well. So notice how the deep half, okay, they actually do a great job of playing it. If they rotate it the other way, I believe that's what gets open. But anyways, if they're playing that style of man coverage, there's a whole lot of other plays that we can do, and you'll see that here in the gameplay. So I don't want to talk about man coverage with only purples and stuff, because there's so many other plays we could attack with that. But anyways, without further ado, man, let's go ahead and dive right into this gameplay. So we are starting off on defense first. Unfortunately, we did not get the ball first. So right here, we actually are going to send some pressure. And like I said, man, this is my favorite defense for you guys that already can tell. It's really nice, and it's just a high pressure defense. So you have the option to blitz, or you have the option to sit in coverage. It's just really it's really like 3-3-5 wide, except for you have another DB on the field. That's literally the only difference in it. So you don't need to go from 3-3-5 normal to wide. I just like it better, for one, it saves you steps on setups, because we already have a good front, so we really don't have to worry about getting weak box too much, even though it is a dime defense. So it is dime normal for those of you guys that are wondering. Now I do have a video on it, so just make sure you check my defensive playlist. But right here, first play of the game, I was looking at triangle. So every time that I run this play right here, I forget the name of it exactly, Hawk slot post, which is one of the best, stock plays in Madden, which I did do a video on this particular play too. But anytime I run that play, I always look for triangle. That's normally my favorite read out of there, triangle or circle, which is on the little hitch route. It's just normally always going to be open. Now this setup right here is actually really good versus all coverages. Normally you want to hit X because so you want to make a read between X and then that slant that you bring over. A lot of times the user will take that slant, especially if they're playing some type of zone or man coverage. They normally will always take that slant because there's always a gap that's open with that slant inside of defense, as long as you have a flat route or something pulling down that purple to the flats, and normally you always have that little dot that's open. Now this is my other favorite complement play. So basically it's going to be a flood concept to the right side of the field, and we're going to make a read between X and triangle normally, and sometimes we look at square, but right there we are going to see X get wide open, and we're going to be able to hit him for the nice dot, man. So we are now this game right here is absolutely crazy, man. I hope you guys actually watch this full video, because you guys will be able to see the good, the bad, you know, the great, the ugly, all that is in this game, man, all of that. So right here, this is just another simple setup. So it's just 4 verticals, but I like taking triangle, put them on a zig route instead. And you really want to make the read between X and R1. Now right there, I feel like I got cheated, because in cover 3, that's normally always going to be open, that little gap right there. Now if I had like an A route or something like that, he definitely would have fit that pass in there, and it would have got a nice little possession catch animation in the end zone. And regs, that's just what you have to deal with, man. So I hear this debate a lot about, so okay, that's what I want to talk about real quick. So I hear this debate a lot between regs and MUT. It's people saying like, oh, regs, you know, it has the garbage players, all the comp is on MUT, you know, I hear it all. So what I have to say about that, as right there we just get levels, so what I have to say about that is, honestly, if you guys want to be honest, I honestly feel like no matter which platform you're on, so whether that's regs or, well, mode, not platform, so whatever mode you're on, MUT or regs, I honestly believe the comp is the same. So you might be saying, well, how is that? So it all depends on what you're doing. Now if you're the type of player to play with only the best team in the game, like the Packers, only play with the Cardinals, you know, then at that point I kind of say regs, I kind of say MUT will be better in that case, because MUT, you know, no matter what game you load up into, you're pretty much going to face people that have similar cards as you. You know, that's normally how it happens. Either similar or they're going to have better cards than you. It's never really worse cards. But you know, when you get those games in MUT where you have those worst players, you be like, thank you. You know, EA, about time you bless me, you know, because those are really rare to come across. But most of the time, they're going to have a similar, you know, overall as you. And then they're going to have similar cards because, you know, all the cards, you know, everybody wants the best cards in the game, you know. But, if you're not one of those people on regs who just play with the same team, if you actually like play with different teams, then it's honestly about the same, honestly, because you'll get matchups where, like this one, where you have the Texans, who's not that good of a team, they're like 60 something overall, and then you get the Bills, who are 80 something overall, you know. So it just makes it a lot more difficult. In that case, it makes regs difficult because you're playing at a disadvantage, you know. It's kind of like on MUT, if you were to have a bad team, like a really bad team, and you get matched up against the, you know, average team, you know, you still have the disadvantage, you know. So it really just depends, you know. That's why I say, because if you think about it, this game to a core is going to play the same, you know. Like if I put that route together, if I put that route concept together that you just seen in MUT, the same thing would it be open, right? The only difference is that cards are just faster, right? That's literally the only difference. Cards are faster, and you get to have abilities on people. Now, abilities does make a difference, yes, but at the same time, it doesn't really mess with the core of the game too much. Like for example, if I have a wide open read, most of the time you're going to be able to deliver that pass. Why? Because you may have ability on your quarterback, or you may have an ability on that tight end or receiver, or even if you don't, if something's wide open, normally you're going to be able to complete that pass. But look at this right here. So we get to throw out a sack, but look how wide open that guy was. That was an easy touchdown had I not got to throw out a sack, and then he's going to celebrate. So that actually made me mad because yeah, if you want to piss me off, just go ahead and celebrate when you know you got blessed. I swear that gets under my skin so bad, dude. But that just pretty much changed it. So he did end up going down to score. So now we are down because of that. And I will still stand by that. That was a great read. It's just I ran out of time. So I noticed he gave it to me, and I figured he was gonna be, you know, ignorant. So I like to say ignorant. Okay, it might not be called ignorance, but I call it ignorance. If you seen something was gonna get wide open, he might not have seen it though. That's why I said. But I just knew he was gonna play the same defense because he got a pick out of it last drive. And then thankfully he clicked on that guy, and it kind of made me nervous. So I actually got a bad throw animation because I was expecting to kind of take a throw out a sack or something, but thankfully it clicked on that person, so it saved me from the throw out a sack, but it caused me to throw a bad angle. So I could have had a one-play touchdown, but I did not throw it at the proper angle that I should have. Now, that is the only thing that's bad about trying to do one-play touchdowns. This is why I actually love that I did this in this gameplay. Because a lot of times you're going to need time in the pocket, and unfortunately, for some reason, it's really hard to buy time in Madden for some reason. Right there, I thought about hitting that corner out. I remember thinking about that in my head, like I should have threw that corner out because it was open. I knew it was cover 2, but I don't know. I didn't want to play. I think that was Trey White on that side. I really didn't want to play with Trey White. So right here, second and essentially goal, because 17 yards is pretty much going to be on the goal line. So right here, I'm looking between X and I'm looking between R1. So I'm seeing where it uses the safety. So I'm like, okay, he did play man coverage. I was wanting triangle, so what I'm going to do is go over here and playmaker him. And then Deshaun Watson actually throws a great pass. Even though that was a throw out of sack, he threw a great pass. And that's what frustrates me on the game, low-key. Like, not frustrates, but like, it's crazy to me how you can throw a bad pass, like a throw out of sack, and then they throw it so perfect. But if you're in a pocket trying to deliver a strike and you get a throw out of sack, they just throw it all kind of crazy. But anyways, that X route is so money on that play right there. I believe that's the Y post. That post route is so good. Well, Y post will. It's really good with that post route, because that's Jordan Atkins out here breaking off Micah Hyde, you know. So that should be able to tell you right there exactly how good that throw is. So right here, he tried to throw something, but he ended up not getting it. So we do get the ball back, and we have 35 seconds to go down and get some type of points right here. So right here, I'm actually trying to just make a read, and I decided to scramble out the pocket with my boy Deshaun Watson. And man, they are doing my boy Deshaun Watson dirty, man. How do y'all feel about the case? So I honestly don't even think he's gonna be on the I don't even think he's gonna be on the Browns much longer. Honestly, I don't really think so, because they have so many cases against my boy, man. And it's like, you really can't deny 28 of them. You know, you gotta figure out there's some, you know, normally you would think there's some type of truth in, you know, at least like 2 of those cases out of like the 28 that they're accusing him of. I really hope it's not, though. You know, I really hope it's all, you know, just some big scam or something. You know, I really hope so. You know, it's right there. I really wanted that slant, but I didn't have time to roll out to that side of the pocket. And so opponent played great defense right there. But I really hope it's not true dealing with my boy Deshaun Watson. I really hope, or at least maybe they can reach a settlement or something to where he doesn't have to exit the league. Like, I'm hoping it's something not that serious, you know, maybe it's just some allegations went too far or something, you know, like, I don't know. That's what I'm hoping, though. But you really never know. You know, you never know what people do behind closed doors, you know. So, I mean, and I did read a little report that, like, essentially the reason the number was so high because he had 1 massage appointment per month for like 2 years or something like that. I believe they said it was something like that. But you would think 1 massage appointment a month actually doesn't sound too bad, though, you know. But it also says a lot about the Texans organization, because what the Texans did is they signed a NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement. Well, they made the people giving Deshaun Watson massage sign that. So that's basically saying, like, hey, you're not allowed to talk about what happens inside this little massage session, you know. Oh, so right here, pay attention. So I noticed he was running code for drop a lot, and he was using in that quarter, right? So what I was going to do is put double streaks and actually make a read between triangle and X, but I literally just did not think he would leave a streak wide open, and that was 100% my fault, 100%. I was like, there's no way. I was like, there's no way somebody's gonna leave a streak wide open. So like, I threw that with anticipation that he was actually gonna go back and try to cover that streak. So I mean, you could call it a great lurk by my opponent, but I don't know. You know, you playing with fire, you know, trying to use that. And I was like, okay, so he did throw a nice little dot right there. I say nice little, but I had a corner there, but you can't expect a quarter to make a play on that type of ball. So he definitely got a free 3 points. So I get ball back, right? So I'm like, okay, let's actually go back to the same thing. All right, so this is just me, you know, being a football player at this point. So I'm like, okay, he's using that quarter. So I wanted to wait for him to move and see if I could catch him using that quarter while I set everything up. So I'm still looking. I'm like, okay, he has to be using that quarter. I haven't seen him move anywhere else. So I see him using a quarter. So I'm like, okay, he's going to do the same thing again. And we're just going to go ahead and take the top off of him right there. So that's just, you know, sometimes you make bad reads, but you also have to understand what your opponent's doing. And I should have had 2 touchdowns, honestly. Really dumb play by me, honestly. So right here, he did get the ball back, and he does drive down, you know, it takes the whole field, and he does end up scoring, and he is gonna actually go for 2 points. That's why I wanted to show you guys this. So we're gonna he's gonna come out in bunch offset, and this is actually crazy, man. So bunch offset, people love this for 2-point conversion. I believe they have a spot play that they love that they do out of it. So right here, he got a bad animation. I think, well, bad for him, good for me. And so we are able to stop him. So that's why the score is 28-30. So I like to show you guys when my opponent scores, or may try to go for 2 or something. So when you see the score, you won't be like, hey, why is the score messed up? But right here, we throw an absolutely laser, and we're looking like freaking Russell Wilson or somebody out there, or Kyler Murray with that type of throw. And like I said, that route is really good. That slot post if you put your best receiver there, that route is really good. So right here, I like putting vertical hooks because they normally do a good job of sitting in that little gap. And right there, that was just my area. I was trying to do too much with my lurk. Now, I did put a quarterback spot. That's why I didn't have a vertical hook there, because I was more worried about Josh Allen trying to run out the pocket than I was, you know, actual coverage. So, I mean, great play. And I had a quarterback contained, so that's why I should have actually crashed my defensive line up so they can actually pass rush. So that was definitely my fault right there. So we're gonna come back with this. Oh, that's why, because every now and again, if you guys ever notice, like, you might do an adjustment, and then what happens is that for some reason they'll do like adjustment themselves and it'll reset. I don't know why it does that, but anyways, you guys can tell he did throw a nice little dot right there, even though I had a vertical hook sitting literally right there in the vicinity. Just didn't get any type of reaction, but it's the game we play, you know. So supposedly, like I said, on Madden 23, they're supposed to fix that, supposedly, but we'll see, man. You know, that's all I can say about that, is we'll see. So right here, I know I have a dot cooked up, and I was so mad because I tried to press circle and I did this little spin animation. Because I had it wide open. I know he played cover 4 drop. I figured he did. Yep, you can tell he played cover 4 drop. I had it wide open. That's why I said sometimes that was actually my fault. I guess I could say that was my fault. I should have just, you know, stopped moving when I stepped up in the pocket. But I always get chased down from behind, so it always makes me a little nervous. But right here, I decided just to take off. I knew his user went too far outside, so we're gonna go ahead and swerve him and just get out of bounds, man. Dang, I really, you know, it's crazy. If Deshaun Watson didn't have all these allegations going against him, he would have at least a star ability or an X factor. I honestly think they would have gave him escape artist, and they probably would have gave him some type of he'd have very similar stats to Russell Wilson, I would say, very similar, because he really balled out, you know, like the year that he played, well, the years that he played, he's been balling out, man. So right there, caught him in cover 4 drop again. Like I was telling you guys, man, that setup right there is gonna bomb just about every coverage. The only coverage it doesn't bomb is cover 2 with the middle third, or cover 3 with the deep half, you know, or any deep half, you know. So if you wanted to play cover 4 drop with a deep half or something like that, you know, it wouldn't bomb it. So if he's gonna sit in those stock coverages, we're just gonna bomb him, you know. So right here, like I said, this is my favorite backside flood concept. So we're looking between triangle and X, because I figured he was going to actually blitz, and he did kind of blitz. Now I should have hit circle out there because he was open a little stop route, but I was just reading him. So we are 15 for 20 for 400 yards. So we're playing a really great game. Now I know we do have a pick, but watch this right. So like I said, cover 3, I'm reading between X and R1. So I know this R1 gets a free release. I'm trying to hurry up and throw that pass to get a nice little dot in underneath, but some quarterbacks, they actually don't let them throw it as fast. Like, they have to let them set their feet and do all that. It all depends on what type of play it is. And I hate that it's like that in the game, that you can't hurry up and throw that, because I noticed he was zone dropper, so that's why we got a free release, and I tried to throw it right there. But like I said, apparently that's one of the other things on Madden 23 that's supposed to be fixed, but we will see. Now right here, I really wanted triangle. I wanted it so bad because it looked like some type of match coverage how he played. It was cover 3, it shows cover 3, but it looked like it played like some type of match, because that safety was not going to be able to cover that little slot streak. So just unfortunate that I ran out of time right there. So right here, this is a nice little quick dot play. So all you do is take X, just put them on a streak on inside cross. And if it's normal, I normally only love that play on cover 3, because if you put them on a streak, there's just going to be nobody right there unless they put a vertical hook. That's the only way. But if they don't do that, then you'll have that throw just right out the gate, you know, and they'll actually let you throw it right out the gate, which is really nice. Now this is that post play, and you guys already know this is essentially my favorite setup versus zone or man coverage. We're going to do double zig routes with a motioned over slant, and it's just going to be so fiery, because his user's going to have to make a choice. No matter what kind of coverage he plays, his user will have to make that choice into what he has to guard. So we have been playing a great game, man. Now I know I say the Bills aren't a good team, quote unquote. They just don't have the best speed, you know. So Madden is based on speed a lot of the times, but the Bills, they can have a high-powered offense if you use them right. You just can't go, like, for example, you can't go empty with the Bills, you know, or you can't go like, you know, trips tight end with the Bills type of stuff. You know, you have to kind of play to their strengths, and their strength is really Josh Allen being able to be mobile, and they have, you know, 2 speedy receivers. So just sets to have like 2 receivers is normally be really fire. And they also have Matt Breida. I'm pretty sure that's who they have. They have a really fast running back. I just can't remember who it is. I believe it is Matt Breida, who has like 90. What does he have, like 97 speed or something like that? Something crazy, 96. So you just have to use them to their strengths. Now right here, I thought he was going to be in cover 3, so I wanted an audible down to try to catch him. He did end up playing cover 2, but I didn't want to actually throw triangle. I didn't want to throw a pick, just, you know, playing around. So I decided just to hit my check down. And we are 18 for 24 for 444 yards. I believe it's at 2 picks. It could be 3. I forgot. I just looked at it. But anyways, this is what makes this formation really good, because if you sub in a running back, you actually can audible way down to single back. So you could definitely abuse that if you want to, and we are going to just go ahead and turn up and get the easy touchdown right there, man. So now this is pretty much gonna wrap it up for this video. I just want to show the last play of the game, but this is gonna wrap it up for the video, man. Watch this crazy play though, for real. That's why I did show it too, because look at this. He's got all day for one, and then we actually get a disengage, and I'm like, oh, bet, game over. Josh Allen being Josh Allen. He actually had no time to stand in there, throw the pocket, and I don't think they counted him in bounds, but that was just pretty crazy to me. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I do hope you guys have a blessed day, a great day, a productive day. Go outside, go do something, be productive. But hope you guys have a blessed day. I'm Ray Jarrell, and I'm out.